Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no flight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder.
Good evening, and welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson, and of course with me tonight is the techie cub with the most, Techy Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening? I think we're going to give everyone a headache.
Oh, we're going to see about giving everyone a headache, because I've already had a headache.
Well, no, see, what I'm saying is I'm seeing our shirts, and if you're watching us on a small screen, I am so sorry right now. We were not thinking. But if you take us to a big screen, well, you might be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be a lot better. But be warned if you're wearing headphones. Yes, I have been playing with Photoshop and Rush, and we have some new things for the show.
He does.
Yes, it's been a project of mine for a while now to get some stuff up and running on the show and to add some features in to make things easier for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as we get into time stamping and, segment blocking and all that, it's going to be a little complicated. So we made adaptations there. However, here's the however for this week.
Yeah, well, and especially earlier, the last 2 days. Like, it started last night, and there's more information today, and it's been a horrible thing to hear for our local area, and yeah. I say lead with it. Just go for it.
Let's get into it. All right.
So, of course, we want to say hi to Brenda and hi to Alexandria and Facebook user. Hello.
Yeah.
So, anyway, going right along.
So, about 6 months ago, we're bebopping along, going about errands, and look over on the side, and I see a sign that says $10 tarot readings phone number. I thought, someone's decided got a real deal at the printing mart.
Yep. Yeah, these are those like metal leg, corrugated, double-sided, waxed yard sign deals. Yeah, they're fairly cheap. Yeah. Oh, hey Gwen, cool deal. And hey Devin, and hey Mary. So yeah, we're driving along. We see that. We're like, okie dokie. Like they are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like
every exit, they have gone through and papered this area. Now, granted, I've been in this area for over 30 years.
Yeah.
In the business for about 23 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Still do not, put out signs and that type of crap. I don't litter our neighborhoods.
Right.
So we go past this exit and I look over and there's this building that has been technically a computer repair building. There's been like 10 or 12 businesses in there, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a psychic reader on there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's another one in the area. That's nice.
Well, yeah, and it's not like you had animosity. Like, one, a little annoyed by all the papering. That was a lot. And sorry, guys, I got to clean my glasses. I can't see crap. But so you hadn't been annoyed other than, like, it wasn't a problem. You're like, yay, other professional, cool, have fun, enjoy. glad you got a marketing budget, you know.
Right.
I think you used it improperly, but okay, cool, whatevs.
Whatevs. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, someone brings her up to me, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. No, I don't know much about her except what I do know, because I'd already heard Scuttlebucket.
Okay.
And then today I get a message and then a Facebook call from another practitioner going, what the hell is going on? This is what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
I am like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So, long story short, like the very condensed version is everything you can do wrong. And if you watch the episode with Corby Mitlin, about her book Yellow Brick Road, avoiding the flying monkeys. I forget the full title, but that'll help you find it. If you've read that, or if you watch that episode, or both, everything that basically she could have outlined and said, don't do this, this local other reader is doing that as their business model.
This book. I really wish anyone wishing to get a psychic reading would go get this book.
Yes.
Okay, this is what's been reported. She's selling stones from the mountains of West Virginia for $9,000 because they're holy stones to cure bad luck.
What? How much?
$9,000.
Yeah. Not like nine people. Yeah. $9,000 for a stone.
Now, chakra cleansings, $500.
Mm-hmm.
This is all off of the $10 reading. Not to mention, the standard bullshit of attachments and curses.
Yeah, Devin, 9,000. Yeah, and that's where his head exploded earlier. Is what the actual fuck is that about?
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, I will say this, and I'll say this 100 times in this industry. I wish there was a board that was national that, clients could go and complain to these people about. Mm-hmm. We don't currently have that. We do have the West Virginia Terror Association that has been a loose association. It will be tightening up. Yes, this week we were able to do our terror awards. It was voted on by the people. Wasn't over accuracy. It wasn't like we put everybody through a psychic test on accuracy. We said, you tell us who's the best. Who's the best in your county, male, female? Who's the best tarot reader? Who's the best psychic? Who's the best astrologer?
Mm-hmm. And someone local did not come up.
Yeah.
Side note.
Yeah, side note. She did not come up. We don't even fully have her full name yet.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of issues there, and it's a lot of things that we've pointed out before. Which is, where's her Facebook page? We can't find it. Where's her website? We can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Where else does she exist at? Like, there's nothing.
Right.
Like, we have a first name. That's it. That's all we can get a hold of is a first name and a phone number.
Right.
And I'm like, that's concerning enough.
Right.
Like, I mean, she has physical presence. Technically, that should help. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, if you're just going straight line, like the physical presence helps, but no website, no Facebook, no.
Yeah.
Well, and granted, we understand, like, it is difficult in this industry to put, like, all of your information out there. As in, you don't necessarily want, even if you're a good and ethical reader, there are clients who get obsessed. There are people who, you tell them their husband's cheating on them. That husband ain't going to be happy. Just going to tell you right now.
And I've done that, and the husband's sitting right there, and I busted his ass. I didn't care about that. What I care about, however, is these people getting stuck out with money, getting took.
Right.
Took. Above bullshit.
Well, yeah, and that's the bigger deal. That's the bigger deal. And this kind of brings up a sticky issue is what can you do?
Well, as soon as we have the information that we need, and no, I'm not releasing it on the name on air. Sorry, Devin. I do have ethics on that part. We will be turning it over to the FBI.
Okay.
There will be a filing of a complaint with the FBI. I'm recommending that everyone bring me reports, report it to the Better Business Bureau. Those are the only two things we can legally do. Now, a client can go and sue her ass. A client has 180 days to contact credit card and banks and redraw that money. But that's all that can be done there at this point.
Yeah, and I think that also brings up another point of like we often rail on the fact that payment processors are very hesitant and very uncomfortable with your industry. This is why.
Yeah.
Right here, this is why. Like you can't paint a better nutshell of why. Right. Because when you have someone acting really horribly, they don't just like sort of do bad. They typically do a lot of bad.
Right.
Like it, because I'm sorry, $500 for chakra cleansing, $9,000 for a rock. Like that's just.
Well, no. But let's think about this. This is West Virginia. West Virginia has a lot of rocks. We grow quartz and coal out the wazoo. There's even been a few diamonds found here. Yeah. At drill quality, those diamonds weren't even that good. Yeah. Okay. Well, $9,000 for a rock that is supposed to solve all your problems is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. There. I don't know. It just kills me. It really does. Because quite frankly, we've run into people we have to practically beat into charging for their services. Like stop operating at a total deficit in your life.
Right.
In which you like are so like that's the side of the industry I'm more normal or more normally we coexist with. Are people that like no really stop doing this, not just for free, but actually going above and beyond. Like there's the desire to help, there's the desire to take care of people, to get them out of bad situations, and just like sit on a phone for hours, never charge them. Like we've run into those people, and it's like, seriously, would you please?
I'm grabbing another book of mine because I want to cover the next topic. Oh, I really should. I can't wait till I get the new desk built.
Oh.
Then I can just reach over and grab my books.
Yeah, and Sarah is pointing out that she has done that. The whole the compulsive need to help someone because it's that bad. And granted, you've had moments where you've been like, you know what, I'm doing a freebie right now. Like, I just don't even need to charge right now. Like, you need help.
Right. Now, this lovely curse-breaking bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to cost you a lot, about $4 in candles. And what is this? I think her book is $12.95. Page 100 of Utterly Wicked. Shifting of Energy. Go get it. Do it yourself. Stop paying people money for imitated curses that don't even exist. Because
Right.
here's the hard facts. When you do a curse, one, you got to really piss somebody off to get them to that level. And two, when that practitioner does, so does the magic.
Well, and I think moreover is one, stop and think, who did you tick off that bad?
Right.
Like, this isn't like, you wake up, you have your coffee, you do the crossword, you curse someone to immortal damnation, and have a light breakfast. Like, that's not how.
Right. And
Like,
it starts with how this starts, how these charlatans do this. They do this, oh, you've got a curse. Oh, poor dear. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. We can get this curse removed. Calm down. Here's a cup of coffee. Let's sit here and talk a moment. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I know what'll fix it, but it'll cost you $50 a candle, $500 a candle, $200 a candle, and I've got to do it for 10 days, so you got to pay me for my expenses too. That's only going to be $500, or this curse is just going to ruin your life, end your marriage, your boss is going to fire, and then, okay, that plants that damn little seed in the back of your damn mind, and it just starts eating and gnawing at you. Your boyfriend didn't call you not because he worked 16 hours and was tired, but because he was cheating on you. And that person didn't help you at work because they wanted to help you, because you helped them last week. It was so that they could tell the boss.
Oh, wait, there's more. Yeah. Well, and that's a large part of how the scam ends up going. It is a scam. It is literally the same tactics.
Right.
You're creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You are, high pressure, effectively sales tactic that, fix it now or your life's just going to get worse. You might not make it back here. Your child could die. Like, it's that kind of like
bullshit.
Getting people to act faster than they can think logically, calmly, and intelligently about a situation.
Right.
Because here's my thing. Because I deal with a bunch of this on the IT side. Like, I end up getting a call and it will start this way. So Microsoft called the other day and I just immediately want to bang my head into the wall. And because it's like, Microsoft will not call you for anything. Never, ever, ever will they ever. Right. Like, did you apply for a job at Microsoft? No, they'll never call you ever for any reason. Like, that's it. And the story's just going to get worse from there, because one, like, there's the IT cleanup, which is usually about nothing to actually do, but then you have to step in as an IT person, knowing the rest of the scam, and because the rest of the scam is either A, you gave them a credit card number, or B, and even worse, you gave them an account, a routing and account number for your bank account. So now you have to start walking someone through identity theft protection.
Right.
And going to the bank, closing your account, and then you get to part, the third part of it, which is trying, once you've gotten someone to understand what has happened, now backing them out of, I'm stupid, I'm old, I'm senile, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm incompetent, because I've heard it all on that one. Like, people get emotionally distraught, and I work with a fair number of older clients that unfortunately I've had a few that have gotten sucked into this, and you just have to sit there and go, no. These are people who work very, very hard at learning how other people tick.
Right.
And what buttons to push, what words to say, how to act, how to create drama. and how to get you to do something before your brain can process what you've been asked to do and whether or not that makes sense.
Right. But no, let's just clear some shit up here. One, you ain't cursed. Unless you've really done some bad shit and pissed off some very skilled people. Otherwise, nope, you ain't cursed. But if you are, you have three options. Go to Red Brick, piss on it, throw it out in the river. Two, go take a salt bath. If neither of those work, Utterly Wicked, page 100.
Mm-hmm.
Stop paying charlatans bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see, this is one of the books I actually have page markers for.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Two, nobody has an attachment. You have a spirit guide. You have a spirit around you. You don't have attachments. Demons are too busy causing problems in our political government, upsetting the world, than to be digging into you. You ain't that valuable.
Ouch. Okay, some people are, but come on. Like, okay,
Rare.
let's take it. Hold on. Let's take it as a legitimate, though. How should that go down? Like, if you were legitimately presented with a client that calls you and goes, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Here's the situation. And you're like, oh, shit, you actually have an attachment.
Right.
You actually
be having physical symptoms. You actually should be like vomiting, throwing up for unknown reasons. You have gone to a medical professional and a psychologist. You have to go to both, or I ain't dealing with you.
Okay. So all that's occurred.
Right.
End of the day, once you have fixed this, what they writing the check for?
Zero.
What is a reasonable amount someone should ever charge for that?
Zero.
Okay. You heard it here.
Because it should be either a priest or a Catholic priest, a Wiccan priest, or Lutheran priest can deal with those.
Okay. And that becomes a religious service, not a professional paid service.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's a you fucked up somewhere spiritually. That's a religious thing. The only religious things I charge for are weddings.
Yeah, when's like it's paranormal work. It's unpaid. Dottie points out shaman.
Yeah. Some shamans can deal with that, but again, they're rare, especially in West Virginia. To find an actual shaman is rare.
Yeah. So, okay, on the rank your. I'm just curious if you could rank them in terms of things that. Okay, so the normal stuff you deal with,
right?
Like we've talked about that on the show. We literally get those questions all the time. You know, am I going to get the job? Will I find a job? Will my finances improve? Does he love me? Is he the right one for me? And that's he, she, or they. All the way through there. Those are the big ones. Okay, let's start with the less common and work our way down. Like, how far down the list is it for curses and demons? Like, how many things can you put in between?
Between 30, 40. All right, in my 20-some years, and I'm yearsing it because it really shows an age here. Readings, I do a lot of. House cleansing, I do a good bit of. Wickenings, I do a good bit of. Weddings, I do a good bit of. Trainings, I do a good bit of. Have done a good bit of, been in a lot of them. Or help, chakra cleansing, Reiki stuff, Klaimi stuff, spiritual counseling, psychic organization, business consulting, astrology consulting, social media consulting, live TV interviews, live radio interviews, live events, talks, cups of coffee, business promotions, metaphysical consulting,
numerology,
astrology consulting, spell formation consulting, because I don't do spells for anybody. I'll tell you how to do it, but you got to do your own damn work because I don't care.
Well, and you need to come back and explain that one.
What, psychic organization?
Well, no, psychic organization, yes, Brenda has questions, but I mean the why you don't do spells for people.
Right.
And you don't, because you don't care. Because that sounds callous, but there's a better explanation there.
Right. Travel advisement.
Business consulting. Matchmaking.
Relationship consulting. Astral relationship consulting.
Dream interpretation.
Psychic healing. Dream interpretation. Then we'll get to chakra balancing and cleansing. Then, I don't know, after we get past baking and cooking in my list of things I do, dealing
which
with
does not
demons.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, which does not involve talking to grandma about her secret cookie recipe.
No.
But, so, way down there, somewhere around my floor, or our floor, is the number of like, oh shit, that's a legitimate attachment.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a legitimate curse.
Yeah.
But what the fuck did you do?
And that's my normal comment. What the hell did you do? Why the hell do you have a curse on you? Who did you rape, murder, pillage, piss off?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, throw the computer work above it.
Yeah. So, okay, total number that you've dealt with in 23 years.
Curse breaking, 5. Attachments, 2.
So 7.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Total events in those two categories, less than double digits in 23 years. And so that's like less than one a year, less than one every 2 years, less than one every 3 years. Like, process that. This person's been in business for like a year, and there are already dozen people that we know of that are complaining about the amount they've been charged related to these things.
Within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, within their total operation. Like, we don't know exactly how, like, when all, like, these people all got hit.
Right.
So I'm spreading it across their total operation.
Right.
Yeah, we're already up to 12.
Yeah. All right, so we got some questions here. Let's answer those. Why do I say I don't do spells for people? Because I don't care. If I don't have a horse in a race, my magic isn't going to push it. You getting a job, I can help you do it. I can add you to the prayer list, but it's going to be more beneficial for you to do it. And again, I'm not charging for that. That's insane to charge to do spell work for someone. I'll gladly teach you. I have a lovely Wicca year and a day and a Wicca 2 years and 2 days programs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll teach you how to do a lot of different spells, a lot of different spell work, but you've got to do the work.
Yep. So, and the most you would ever would charge for there would be literal supplies and time.
Mm-hmm. How much do I have?
At most.
At most.
So, and again, at most.
Right.
How much?
Well, I don't know.
Like,
I can normally teach someone how to do a spell in about 15 minutes, so that's $35. They're buying their own damn supplies unless they're buying from me. So probably at most $10 because I'm a Walmart dollar store witch.
so under 50.
Oh hell yeah.
No, I'm trying to, like, if
Yeah,
we're
like
going to bring this
50.
up and talk about it, like, if we're going to bring this up and talk about it,
yeah,
I'm going, instead of saying, that's unreasonable about what someone else is charging,
right.
Let's go ahead and talk about, like, where is reasonable? What
Right.
is reasonable? What are numbers that clients should be hearing?
Right.
If this comes up.
Well, if this comes up, they should be hearing. So I'm having a class in July on spellcasting. It's from 4:00 in the afternoon to 10:30. You'll need to go ahead and pre-register for that. Or here's the video class on magic and magical application. You can go ahead and take that at any demand and on demand. And here's a list of things to go buy. I recommend you getting them at either Five Below, Dollar General, or Earth Magic for the rarity items. Like in the middle of March, it's really hard to get a black candle somewhere, so you have to go see Mo. Mo can get you a black candle or dragon's blood powder. But most common spells are you use cinnamon, basil, black pepper, curry powder. I mean, there's different spells, but it's normally simple stuff.
So, like, the worst you're facing is a god-awful receipt from Kroger. And that's
Basically.
literally for supplies.
And that's
literally. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, if you try to buy, like, clove at the wrong time of year, i.e. we're headed into it, that can get expensive because now you have to get the glass jar shit that, costs like $10 a little jar.
Right.
But other than
that, it's like that's what an average spell costs around $10 to $15.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you really want to get witched down with it. Point blank, any spell you look at should cost you $10 to $15, and that's if you're really going in for it. But you have to do the work. Not me, not another practitioner, you. And after you take a spell class or a magic application class or a magical theory class, or you come take a class from me like candle magic or whatever, you can do it yourself.
Okay, but Aeson, I don't want to do that. Here's $10,000. You go do it.
Nope.
Why?
I have no care on why you want that man in your life. I have no.
But care. I gave you $10,000. Isn't that motivation enough?
No.
Okay. Again, I'm just saying.
No.
Like
sorry.
we've heard that argument made, and there's some prominents that would make it.
Mm-hmm.
That you have similar feelings about.
Mm-hmm.
Like some big ticket names.
Mm-hmm.
That no, even there isn't an amount of money.
Right.
Oh, love that one. Never start a relationship with a kidnapping.
Depending on the ethical guidelines.
Okay, we're leaving that alone.
Well, when I say depending on the ethical guidelines, because some traditions, some cultures have kidnapping as the starting of a wedding. That's why the bride is veiled in the Catholic Church. It's because it was a fear of kidnapping.
Alrighty. Things I didn't know till today. So yeah, all right. So have you ever cleansed someone of a possession?
I've cleansed items of possessions. I would say probably documented cases of possessions within the past 30 years is probably 3, and those were all handled by the Catholic Church. That's how rare it is.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So yeah. Like, and I just want to bring attention to the fact of, like, okay, if we're going to talk about it,
let's dig into it.
Let's dig in and get there with it.
Right.
Because a lot of the times it gets talked about like that's unreasonable. Okay, what's reasonable?
Right.
Like, and I think sometimes that's where people end up not understanding. You get into a high pressure situation where someone's pumping you with like, your child's going to die and your husband's going to leave you and you're going to lose your job and blah, 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 blah.
Spit at them.
Well, no. You could sit there. Well, yes, that's how you should react. What I'm saying is that in that moment, you could sit there and suddenly $500, $5,000. Like, I'm sorry, have you had a divorce, lost your job, and buried a child recently? Like, $5,000, $10,000 sounds cheap.
Right, but it's scam. It's self-created because it's a scam.
Oh, but okay.
Yes,
well, other things. All right, other things to add there.
Okay.
So, now help me out. Possession of an object, though.
Right. All right, let me explain this. The secretary.
Oh, God. The most hated piece of furniture in my family.
Beautiful piece of furniture. Gorgeous piece of furniture. I would have loved it until I realized that, nope, don't want that.
Yeah, we got into a whole like there was a brief moment, and perhaps because at that point you hadn't been around it much, because you had asked who's getting it, and I'm like, not me. I don't ever want to see this damn thing again. That is like the most unfortunate piece of furniture ever to cross into this house.
Right.
Like, nobody wants it. And you're like, what do you mean nobody wants it? And I'm like, oh, but you got to hear the story.
Right. But here's an example of another piece of furniture that I had problems out of. My lovely, lovely father over here. Yes, I keep Dad behind me. Hannah, yeah, you can. But follow the instructions on the screen.
Yep. And it may be just a minute.
Right. So my father knew I was working long hours. So he was at a yard sale for a lady up the street here. He saw this metal desk chair that he thought was just wonderful because it also turned into a recliner. So I could get rid of the footstool I keep underneath my desk to lift, And he thought it was just amazing. And it was a gorgeous piece of 1950s furniture. Steel made, comfortable, had the reclining foot, all of that. So he buys it, brings it up, doesn't tell me where he got it from, nothing. We put it in my office. I became a bitch from hell. Totally a bitch from hell. I was evil. I was moody. I was cursing. I was depressed. I was upset. I was not nice to anybody, including myself. My clients even were fearful of me. And that's saying something. So our lovely invisible assistant pointed out that I haven't been happy since I got the chair. So I get to inquiring with my father. Oh, dearest father, where did you find this wonderful desk chair you brought me? Oh, it's from the girl up the street that hung herself. I didn't mess around with cleansing that furniture. I didn't mess around with cleansing that chair. It left my house that day, and my house got brighter, got more comfortable, got more relaxed in it. I started being nicer. I informed my father from then on, I don't take used furniture. From anywhere he buys it.
Well, and it like the thought was wonderful. The furniture itself, abstract of all other things, was great. But the situation it came from
was the environment. It captured that energy and held that energy. That's what I'm talking about with furniture connecting energy, furniture having an attachment. Another piece was a beautiful, beautiful old dresser set. It looked pretty on the outside, but its vibration, the memories and stuff it had stored were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was covered in slime. Nope, didn't come in this house.
No. Well, and that's one that yeah, understandably. But no, I don't know. I thought for the longest time I was the only one that had like visceral reaction to furniture, that I could love the piece. Like, if you send me a photo of it, I would love it.
Mm-hmm.
But get around it, and it's like I don't like it. I don't know what I don't like about it, but I don't like it.
Right.
Like I've had that reaction
Mm-hmm.
to like certain pieces of furniture, that it's like I should love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it visually is appealing, but
Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And, that happens. Now, Brenda had a question here, if you'll read that for me.
Are there psychic energy, etc., repercussions that these people open themselves up to doing psychic scam work?
Yes, it is. Karma will get them. Other practitioners will get pissed off enough to assist Lady Karma or move them up on the list of Lady Karma.
Well, and keep in mind, this is not professional jealousy, because I will say professionally, and I don't know, maybe I'm talking out of turn and you may shut me off, but at worst, typically, like professionally, you'll have moments that, like, and I say you, and I mean literally everyone in your field. You won't like someone, you won't appreciate necessarily how they do a reading. You may not appreciate how, they run their business. And you might be like, oh God, not that bitch. I don't want to deal with her today. Like, that's generally the worst in industry wide, because I'm using you collectively, that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all will have your own issues amongst yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
but you will at least respect each other professionally and be like, oh, how's it going? Yeah, they're, I'm also working with this person. And you'll smile, nod, and go along, because you genuinely, like, it's not the reading you give, it's not how you'd run your business, it's, but you also accept these aren't the clients that you necessarily want.
Right.
These are clients that respond to that person better than they would you anyway. So, more power to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because I'm not the right psychic for everybody. No psychic is the right psychic for everybody. Everybody is not my client. Some people want to hear that unicorns and rainbows are going to come prancing through your house and just throw money and men at you for the hell of it. That's not me.
Right.
People get really mad at times when I'm pointing out all the things their boyfriend's doing, and then I'm looking at them and going, these are all the things you're doing bad. Do you want this relation to succeed? Great. Shut up, set off your phone, and stay away from fucking social media for a week.
And some people just can't take hearing it that bluntly.
No. They want to be told
stop screwing up your life.
Exactly.
And here's how you're screwing up your life. This is what you need to stop doing.
Right.
Other people, it's like, no, please hit me with 2x4. That's why I'm here.
Right.
And so, and again, I'm sure other people in your industry have the same reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're sitting there going, oh God, not Aeson. Please, not Aeson. I don't want to work with him today. I hate overhearing parts of his readings. I just cannot stand him. He is so blunt and hateful. And like, oh my God, were you there in 2019? I swear to God, everyone who left his table fucking cried. Just like it. But at the same time,
mm-hmm.
I'm sure they hit clients that are like, you know what, you're a good fit for Aeson.
Yeah.
Let me give you his number. Because you're going to respond to him better. Yeah, and sometimes you have to call it like it is.
Right.
Things that I've gotten in trouble for in my career for 1,000, Alex. Like, sorry, there's Nice Joe, and Nice Joe shows up most places, but then there's Professional Joe, and Professional Joe can tick people off.
Hourly.
So, it happens. I've done some things in my career. And I would feel bad, but I just sit here knowing, but I wasn't wrong.
All right. So let's go ahead and take this question. And if anybody has any questions on this topic, we'll gladly take them, and then we're going to move on to something else. My blood pressure is already at 200.
All right, so Umi, 7/26/94. When will I get married?
All right, Umi, looking at it, I feel like that is a goal of yours. You're probably looking at, well, you got to get the relationship built first. And that's, ooh. All right, honey, I'm going to give it to you. I feel like it's going to be at least a year and a half. I think you got to get the relationship you want first, and I think you have to get the foundation to that point. Okay, Umi. Okay. So,
okay.
all right.
So next topic.
Next topic. What was in your news?
Oh, in my news?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. What? Did I send articles? I don't know.
New dads are losers.
Oh, God. No, we covered that Friday.
No, we did not.
Friday. Last Friday. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Didn't we? Like, yeah, sorry, I haven't shared anything. I've been on the road this week, man. Like, I'm a hot mess.
You are a hot mess.
Like, I really am. I know, right? But no. So one thing I do want to talk about, though, since we're already into a segment change anyway, can we just talk about what is most likely about to happen in the IT field? Because that hit me this morning.
Yeah.
I swear to God, IT is probably going to end up having a Devil Wears Prada computer stuff moment. And I say this because the IT field has worked a lot of hours, a lot of overtime, has been filling in and making do and duct taping together and dealing with a bunch of people wanting to call our segment of the business a cost sink. And then COVID hit. And there was a frenzied dash to buy, to do IT purchasing for, everyone to be able to, be on Zoom and work from home. And there was so much demand and so little supply. That companies just threw the playbook out the window.
Right.
Just trying to get equipment into people's hands. Then we turn around and we are now into a chip shortage. Hi, this is why, the new car market, if you've been by a new car lot recently, they're a little vacant. Of new cars. And then we turn around and Windows 11 dropped. And I'm waiting, and it hit me this morning. I'm a little afraid at this point that large chunks of the IT field, of IT workers, are one more computer stuff and one more argument over budgets and spending and being called a cost sink from walking out. Because the crap that we have dealt with, and I say that about my industry, not me specifically as much, has really pushed them hard to try to keep a bunch of companies afloat through a pandemic, emerging technologies, a completely new and different way of doing business, bring your own device and work from home, multitudes of devices that they're expected to support and keep working, and get connected into their systems, totally abstract of the normal like procurement process, the normal everything else, in what has become a seller's market, which had always been a buyer's market. I'm wondering how much longer until IT has a nice massive breakdown.
Right.
And says it's not worth it. I quit. This is a thing that hit me this morning, and I'm just like, I could see it happening. Like this is like the perfect storm that, the money's just not worth it anymore. Because this is a field that has gone through a lot of financial contraction in terms of compensation. Not that we've been existing at like, server level, like as in like your food server level.
That's debatable.
Well, and that's debatable. Sometimes when you sit down and do the math, it's almost horrific.
Well, one time when one of your older jobs, you done math, and the manager at Arby's made more than you did.
Well, there was one time in a former job that I did the math and figured out I made less than minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's a moment. Let me tell you, you go through 4 years of college and get a degree. And you really are working your ass off and trying to keep everyone happy. The day that you sit down and do the math and figure out that the reason you're so broke all the time is because you're doing the work of like 3 people. You're working the hours of 2 people. And you're getting paid, if you divide it the right way, all your overtime, even for one person, drops you below minimum wage per hour. That's the only way it would work. It's a moment that when you see that sign offering like $45K plus benefits for a manager at Arby's while you're on your, hi, can I take your order, please? 3rd meal of the day. Because literally that's the life you now live. You borderline a breakdown, let me tell you. Like, I was in the middle of an Arby's drive-through about hanging on by dental floss of a thread to like my sanity at that point, realizing that I wonder if I could get a job as an Arby's manager because it would pay more and be better than what I'm currently doing. Like, loved my clients, loved my users, loved everyone that I did work for, loved to a degree the work I did. I was just exhausted. Like, I'm worried. That's where I was 10 years ago. 11 now. Soon to be 12. I'm just wondering how many people are there right now, even if they're better compensated than I was.
Well, the other friends I've seen in IT, they've hopped and changed and switched this much, it ain't even funny. Okay? Like, I used to be able to know, this one's working here, this one's working here, this one's working here. Now it's like, I don't know where the heck they worked. Like, my old team, that all of them have switched so quickly and so fastly, and a lot of them have gone independent like you have, of just, nope, You hire me when you need me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm moving to Costa Rica. Enjoy.
Basically, like, what can't I do remotely?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a short list. But no, I think a lot of IT had already begun to hit the wall, especially like older millennial IT, because we were the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went into college being told about our wonderful, fantastic 75,000 a year plus career opportunity. Like, that was going to be our starting.
Right.
So we went into this degree program with like, okay, yeah, I'm taking out 80,000 in student loans. Like, I've already figured out how much I'm taking out.
Right.
But like, I'm only gonna be making like 5K less than that per year, which at the time was still really good money.
Right.
Because that was back when like you could economize and live pretty well.
Right.
Like, theoretically, I should have been able to come out of college.
Mm-hmm.
And had I got that 75,
right.
If I lived economically, I could have easily paid off my student loans in 4 years.
Right.
Living very frugally. Very carefully, I could have paid all that off.
Right.
That's where my head was in 2000. And since then, by the time I got out, okay, the new starting is like, 27, 28.
Right.
If you get 30, you're doing good. If you're a top of your class student, you may be looking closer to like 40. Good luck with that. Here also, by the way, here's your student loan bill.
Right.
Thanks for playing. You lost.
Right.
So I'm wondering how many people are hitting the wall of like, this just is not doing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That like, and more importantly, they can't keep going. Like, thanks. I'm done with playing. I want a real job. I want a real weekend. I want a real like life.
Right.
I want to not have 3 meals a day at my desk.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them involve the words, please pull forward. Because that's where I was at.
Right.
I mean, I'm not joking. I have, at one point, I was at 3 meals a day, involved 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, technically. But 3 meals a day involve the words, please pull forward.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what that means, I ate fast food 3 times a day because I didn't have time to cook.
Right.
Because I left the house when it was dark and I got home past midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was literally a treadmill. And you just, like, what life? What holiday?
Mm-hmm.
What day off? Because even when I had a day off, I'm working from home.
Right.
And fielding phone calls from work and fielding emails from work. Just trying to keep myself at a point in which I'm not so far behind the avalanche is going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the point I left.
Right.
Was I'm sitting there realizing I am, let's see, at the time, 28 years old. My health is deteriorating rapidly. I'm starting to feel like I'm in my 50s. I was at the time, and just like total candor here, I'm smoking like 2.5 packs a day. I weighed 380 pounds. And I actually plan time in my morning to have a small nervous meltdown and still be able to pull myself together and go into the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I went, no more.
Right.
Like, it just took like one more little thing out of anyone, and I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. Bye. I'm out.
Right.
Like, can't live like this.
No, you can't. That's when you got to learn to switch jobs. All right, guys. let's switch off, and I want to talk about Randolph County.
Ooh.
All right. So Randolph superintendent removed his recommendation of expulsion for a student that should have been commended in multiple ways.
Okay. So what is it? Okay. So there was an LGBTQ plus mural controversy at Tigers Valley High School.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
right.
yeah, and so there was this controversy because the student painted this mural of a lava lamp that says equality, equality, everyone is equal. Done the LBG colors, done some very nice artwork with a rainbow background, and apparently was forced to cover up the rainbow. After students threatened to protest over it. The rainbow portion of it was, of course, painted over in black.
Okay.
And this student posted on social media sharing outside of school hours that there may be threats to LBG youth at Tigers. Is this Tiger High?
Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers Valley High School.
Yeah.
And so the superintendent filed suit and wanting him expelled, or she expelled. We'll go with he just because it's easy.
Okay.
So, of course, the ACLU had to step up and do the job of reminding educators that the students do not lose their free speech rights when going to school.
Well, and technically what the student was doing was attempting to warn others of potential serious harm.
Right.
Like, he wasn't threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were not threatening as much as they were sharing that threats were occurring.
Right.
Like, careful with that one. Like, that's the difference between saying, I'm going to shoot up our high school, and I have heard our high school is going to be shot up.
Right.
Those are vastly different, like, sides of a situation.
Right.
Like, that is, high.
Right.
Leagues and fathoms.
Yes. This is ridiculous. Thank you, West Virginia Boyd, for the article. Really wish it was a little bit more organized. But I just don't get this superintendent. One, why change a mural that was a student project? It was student artwork. Now we're going to just start blacking us out?
Well, more importantly, it's one thing if you paint over a mural. Like, if they had totally painted over it, that's one thing. That's okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, we decided to go a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. But to sit there and alter the work,
right,
that's really heavily frowned on in artistic communities.
Well, that's heavily frowned on anywhere.
Well, but I mean, especially like that's altering someone's creative work.
Exactly.
Well, and expression. But moreover, it's altering the work and it's changing the meaning. And no. You either, if you commission a mural, I firmly believe you either get to keep it and let it stay as is, or you get to whitewash over it and start over, or just not do another one, and go, this was a bad life choice. We'll never do that again.
Right.
Move right along. You don't get to necessarily alter it.
Exactly.
Like, not without artist permission, not without consulting that artist, not without their agreement. I understand it's a school, But I feel these are reasonable choices to make.
Right.
Is you either keep the mural as is, or you get rid of it entirely. You don't get to pick and choose.
Right. And I'm sorry. I think changing the student's mural was bullshit.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is all. I believe this is also part of the Bridgeport students who's having to sue over West Virginia's bigot law when it comes to sports.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is. And that's where we are in West Virginia. We are arguing about, I feel bad for students. I don't know what else to say other than I feel bad for students in West Virginia that are effectively getting the best education they have ever had in constitutional law
by living
it, because our school system, our state, can't think 3 seconds past, well, it'll make the voters happy.
Right.
Our knuckle dragging voters who think that, hate is a wonderful thing to have. And so let's just create a lot of hate laws that make a bunch of constituents happy and get more votes that then eat up time and ruin, and well, not ruin per se, but cause harm.
Right.
Not inherently ruin lives as much as causes harm that then has to be dealt with. Lawsuits have to be filed. Supreme Courts have to get involved.
And it does ruin lives, because by the time that this court case for this cheerleader gets through, they will probably be in postgraduate studies.
Possibly, yeah. Well, that's like the Gavin Newsom? Is that? I think that's the name of the student. Basically, he's in college before his lawsuit settled.
Right.
Or I'm totally wrong. Oh, I got it wrong. Gavin Newsom is a governor.
Was a governor.
Gavin, oh God. West Virginia trans. Gavin Grimm? Gavin Grimm. Yeah. Finally in June, finished his lawsuit. Oh, was that North Carolina? I thought it was West Virginia.
West Virginia, because it was Supreme Court law. They have to give bathrooms. Now, there was another one that we were talking about earlier, and I don't have the article on it. But apparently, Tennessee has decided to go back to the 60s in a different way. Shrink a little way, but it's the same damn thing.
Okay.
If a business or an establishment has bathrooms that are used for all presented sexes, they have to post a sign on their door.
Okay.
So a transgendered person knows that it's okay for them to use the bathroom there. That is no different than Joe Kerr laws that occurred when there were white bathrooms and black bathrooms.
Okay. I would think a business would choose that as would choose to do that.
No, it's required by law.
Well, I'm just saying. But I'm guessing it's going the other way, and it's meant to bring condemnation on the business for not having gender binary bathrooms.
Right.
Annoying. But yeah.
The insanity that we're living in is where I'm at.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, it's more so the other side of the coin. It's sort of like if a business that provided, say, birth control for female employees were required to put that on like the front door of their business. We provide birth control to female employees. Given the Hobby Lobby situation, if you're compelled as a business to do that, you're fundamentally going to inadvertently attract a lot of people that do not agree with that, at least their attention. To protest you, to be against you. So fundamentally, you're forcing a business into a situation where, to avoid that attention, they may want to separate to have either, in my example, not offer that benefit, or the businesses that have a gender neutral bathroom to gender binary their bathroom space, just to take it off of everyone's radar for any negative interaction that could cause. I mean, it's kind of, I see what they did there. And it is like an ugly end run.
Right.
Around, okay, well, we can't change what you do, but by God, we can make you regret doing it.
Right.
And it's kind of, really? Like, why? Why? Not to mention, do you know the number of businesses that it's just because, like, they have one bathroom?
Right.
They only have space for one bathroom. It's one sink, it's one toilet, it's one door. That's it. That's all they want space for. You know, that's it. Forget it. We have one bathroom.
Right.
Move on with your life. It's gender neutral. It's the only effing bathroom.
Right.
Like, everyone's fine. Everyone's okay. It'll all be good. Like, I'm sorry, our house has a gender neutral bathroom. Considering that we both work from home, does this mean we would have to put this on our front door?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to carry it to its most idiotic extent.
Well, that's the most idiotic extent they've wrote this ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what the hell? Because I can't imagine if I ran a home-based business, and a lot of people do, depending upon how the law is written and whether or not it's like businesses of a certain size and blah, blah, blah. If it does apply that broadly, you could literally have Betty Lou's hair salon run out of her garage that has one little bathroom for all her little customers, now has to put a sign on her door about her gender neutral bathroom. She ain't even part of this fight. She has a damn business out of her garage.
Right.
Like, it's a gender neutral bathroom because what the hell, where am I supposed to put a men's room and a women's room in a garage? Like, I barely have room to put all the stuff I need to in this business in the first place.
Right.
Like, hi, how much do you want?
Right.
You know.
But again, this is returning to the things. This is, the sign has to say, this facility maintains a policy of allowing the use of bathrooms by either biological sex, regardless of designation on the bathroom.
Oh, that's a weird requirement.
Yeah.
Like, and like following it to its idiotic conclusion, like, and again, some laws have modifiers and like whatever, but even still, it's like the whole end run is
exactly,
let's draw a lot of negative attention to this by flipping the script.
Exactly.
And it's like, fine, we'll make you out yourself as being a business in this situation. And it's like, so do you want to just like...
Yep.
Well, basically, Brenda, I call it the option 2 is it's going to end up being New Charleston. Because good Lord, in Charleston, West Virginia, try to find a public use facility.
Right.
Because let me tell you, that is an area that there is a problem if you just need to stop and go to the bathroom. Like, don't try this in Charleston, West Virginia. Sheets is the correct answer. Well, that's your only choice that I found.
Exactly, but at the same time, it's the same thing as the 60s when you had white only. These signs, because they say, if there isn't a sign, it basically says white only.
Effectively.
That's where we're at with this. It's ridiculous.
Brenda says the only reason you'll ever see me stop at a McDonald's. I don't know, like up there, like I will say Charleston, West Virginia, like God help you if you've got to go to the bathroom. You will have to buy something. Have to. And two, like, you better plan this.
Right.
Because you will find there is and I get why. Because Dottie points out that's because of the meth. That's the only thing that, like, they're trying to keep this out of our business. We don't want to deal with people like dropping dead and doing drugs and shooting up, and I get that. But at the same time, it's like if you're just like someone without a substance use problem trying to just go to the bathroom, it's a real effing nightmare.
Right.
It really makes the city feel very inhospitable to humans.
Right. Well, it's like the water fountains of the 60s and 70s. Like the water fountain cared who got water out of it. Now you couldn't even find one because of this bullshit.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
welcome to many years
of humans.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do another segment switch, and then let's move on to some wins for us.
Ooh.
All right. So finally, same-sex spouses and partners have been won this after the Justice Department dismissed the lawsuit. They win survivor benefits. Finally.
Yes. Finally, spouses are spouses under the law when it comes to Social Security. Right. That's the whole thing. Because what actually happened is, if you remember back, Windsor, the case that effectively granted same-sex marriage rights, that Supreme Court case, ended under the Obama administration in kind of like, let's go with hour 10. There wasn't a lot of time left in the Obama administration to like iron out what all this meant.
Right.
Then we ended up with the Trump administration, which, when this started as a court case to deny people who were same-sex survivors benefits, the Trump administration went, yeah, let's fight that one.
Right.
Like, good use of taxpayer funds right there. If we can't like shut down marriage, let's at least keep it unequal on death benefits and survivor benefits.
Right.
Like, that's a winning strategy and wonderful use of taxpayer funds to argue something that I think most 5-year-olds could figure out was kind of fucked up. Like, it should have been an open shut thing and taken like 5 minutes to be like, okay, yeah, see where we're at. We got to fix that.
Right.
Instead, it drug through, and it literally took the Biden administration going, just get out.
Right.
Just get us out of this. Thank you. Have a nice day. we're not doing this.
Right. Because here's the facts. Any relationship formed during the ban on same-sex marriage, just was quoting it, Arizona law, West Virginia had the same law. They had no right to those benefits. Normally, it's a relationship that's 10 years long. If you can't legally marry, how can you claim that 10-year-long spec?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the comments here from Loban legal counsel Peter from the Justice Department. Well, it's Loban legal counsel Peter Ram said, we commend the Biden administration for respecting constitutional rights of same-sex couples and choosing the right side of history. No one should continue to pay the price for past discrimination. Today's development ensures the doors stay open for the seniors who were wrongfully locked out of critical benefits based on the discrimination laws. He also added that survivor benefits are now equally available to everyone, including potential thousands of same-sex partners who could not marry their loved one and may have thought it was futile to apply.
Well, yes, very much. And that's Lambda Legal, which we dearly love Lambda Legal. They do a lot of wonderful things. But yeah, it's just unfortunately, this is the reality, is it was really easy to celebrate Windsor.
Mm-hmm.
And what it did.
Right.
And I think we were part of the category of people who went, yeah, there's more to life than marriage.
Right.
Like this shit gets complicated real fast. Like there's way more to it.
Okay.
It's not just getting married. And granted, this was part of the entire fight for marriage equality.
Right.
Was all the additional knock-on things that should come with that.
Right.
And that's where it's like the fight isn't over. It's still not equal. Here's your example. These are the problems. That if you're just now getting the ability to marry, you also have to stop and think about divorce, death, disability, and everything else that, adoption, etc. It goes on down the line.
Right.
Because marriage impacts all of those things.
Right. On multiple levels. Multiple levels. It impacts divorce. We still don't have equal divorce laws. They haven't been transferred yet. It impacted Social Security. It impacted medical. It still impacts medical. It still has to be sorted out about survivor benefits. It has to be settled out about if the family or the partner get the ashes.
Well, and fundamentally what is being done is we're having to take one by one, situation by situation, and work these out through courts.
Right.
Because Windsor was the beginning, not the end.
Right.
Because literally it's the, hi, here's your door to get married. Now you have to fight for the ability to have every other benefit of marriage and what marriage entails and what it would normally do for any two heterosexual people who drunkenly in Vegas make a last minute completely inebriated decision to get married would be automatically handed.
Right.
Like, keep that in mind. Like, any two going with gender binary, but a man and a woman drunkenly, negligently, however you want to put it, get married in Vegas, barely remember doing it, or don't at all. Like, they just have a piece of paper and a couple of paper rings that they may be, are suddenly granted a whole host of rights, abilities, and privileges.
Right.
that cover everything from taxes to healthcare to, who gets to make your decisions about, in end of life care, and hospital care, and there, it just, like, the list is enormous. And the way a lot of people reacted to Windsor was that all of that got settled in one shot. No. And it's like, oh, no, it didn't. Like, even the IRS immediately was like, whoa, watch your tax returns. We're not ready.
Right.
And that should have been the first, like, hi, here you go. This is your V8 moment. This isn't going to go down quick and easy. This is going to be a long, hard road of getting everyone on the same page to treat one marriage the same as any other marriage.
Right. And see, here's the bigger problem in this. And this is another problem that not anyone's talking about right now. This is only for one type of marriage. The one that clones itself. One person plus one person. That's all it's for. They haven't given rights or identifications to marriages that include 3 beings. They haven't given rights to marriages that include 4 beings interlinking. Yeah.
Well,
and that's still ahead of us.
Fundamentally, legally, I think the stronger, quicker argument is we're not looking at the way people live. We're not looking at the way that finances occur. Because I'm sorry, it was cute 50 years ago when you could have a minimum wage job, afford to put your kids through college, have kids, get married, have kids, buy a house and a car and have a retirement, all on minimum wage.
Right.
Versus now, when, oh yeah, poly is such a forbidden topic on that one. That's just like, it sets a lot of people off because that was actually the first reaction. Is literally at the very beginning, in which, like, literally the first time I ever heard the words gay marriage was, and next they'll want to be able to, marry multiple people, marry their siblings, and marry their pets. Those were the 3 cited. And I think on at least the first one, on the multiple people, we were starting to already understand at a very, like, base level that, one, this 1950s era dream of a working man and a stay-at-home woman and 2 kids, a dog, a white picket fence, and a mortgage, plus, a couple of car payments, a few college tuitions, and a, retirement, were all doable things, was it? And that we had already well surpassed, dual income and still kind of broke.
Right. Well, see, this is what aggravates me about the Social Security Administration. A heterosexual man can marry 2 women as long as he's with those 2 women for more than 10 years each. Both of them get survivor benefits. Same amount as if there was one. Both of them get it.
But not the other way around, and not...
Right.
And I'm sure there's a list of caveats there. I'm sure that's either... Now, does that have to be they don't know about each other? Like there's an unintentional... as in neither spouse knew about the other? Or is that literally like a Mormon law?
Neither.
Effectively, it helps Mormon polygamy.
Neither.
Okay.
Man marries one woman. We'll call her Brenda. Just because I see the name. Man divorces Brenda 11 years into their marriage.
Oh, gotcha.
He turns around and marries Susie and they're together for 13 years, and he dies.
Both
get survival benefits
because she didn't remarry.
Right.
Gotcha there. Oh, ain't that a knock in the head?
Yeah.
And I've met people and that's part of a much greater topic about the confusing ways that we create situations in which people, like, for a party that so often cites the sanctity of life, the sanctity of marriage, the sanctity of this, the sanctity of that, you really fuck some people up. You know that? Like, I just got to put that out there. With the way you end up forcing them to live in order to keep financial solvency. Like, just sometime let it process. Just think it out loud real hard one day. Right. It'll really smack you upside the head.
Well, it's like when Sister was, I can't remember the dude's name. I remember the wife named Mary. When dude divorced Mary to marry his third wife so that he could do legal adoption on her children. Nothing changed in that relationship. Everything was as it normally is.
Okay. But it's a paper.
Right. But
it's a paper night and day.
Exactly. If he wanted to, he could wait 10 years, divorce Robin, marry the second wife, wait 10 years, divorce her, marry the third wife, wait 10 years, divorce her, and all four of them will get the same survivor benefits at the end of the day, according to current Social Security laws.
Really? Like, how deep would that go, though?
As long as he's alive and married to them for 10 years.
Oy.
So if he met the first one and married them at 20, and he retired at 60,
yeah,
he can get every one of the wives his Social Security benefits. There's no need for a 401k, a life insurance policy. Of course there is, but there's no need of this and it's come to my attention. Apparently, banks get really annoyed with this.
Okay.
No need to decide who's getting which checking account.
Yes. Yeah, and it gets weird. It really does. Oh. Yeah, I don't get why people are still shocked over same-sex and poly, and even without the example of we have women who have married themselves, ghosts, etc.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're marrying gods right now. Okay, we got men marrying gods right now. I'm quite sure
we have men marrying
Social Security.
Meanwhile, there's the Russian bodybuilder who married his sex doll. That was a news story. My mind is still like, all right, there's so many things wrong with that, but I can't even begin.
Right.
I'm just going to go with inanimate object, and does it really matter at the end of the day? Exactly. Like, if you're happy and, her batteries get changed, I guess everyone's okay.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yes, sex doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just,
All right, guys, we're going to do one more segment. It's our feel-good news this week.
Oh, we have feel-good news? Yes, what? Russian marries sex?
This actually is one that probably hits close to home. Dolly Parton made headlines when she shared a rare picture of Carl Dean.
Oh.
Now, this is the same picture that she shared. There's like 3 pictures of this man out in public.
Okay.
And it's very cute. And someone has photoshopped a Dolly shirt on him. We all know Carl Dean does not like the spotlight, the social media. That'll be Tuesday, Dottie, that we'll be talking about the awards. But this is a warm topic, and this is kind of what the model you thought. Devin, I'm going to take your question just in a second. Let's take Devin's question, and then, let's talk about Carl Dean.
Okay. Well, Devin has a couple of questions. So Devin 31678. Well, my friend Milo's wife, who's in.
Will she be okay?
Oh, my friend Milo's wife is in the hospital again. Will she be okay? There we go. Sorry.
I feel she will, but I feel like there's continuing issues here. Okay? Meaning that she's going to have to deal with it. And there'll be some problems, but she'll be okay. Okay?
Alrighty.
All right. But no, this was the original model of our relationship.
Okay.
You were going to be Carl Dean and stay out of the spotlight. Just float around.
I tried, y'all. I tried. I really tried.
So,
but then, and back in the days of Blog Talk, your co-host, we thought she was just going sabbatical for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And then that had to become more permanent. And then you're like, I don't know what to do here because I can't keep talking to myself.
Yep.
I'm driving my own self crazy. I just need someone to come on air and bounce stuff off of.
Right.
I just need a wall. Can you be a wall? Can you come on air and be a wall? And I went, okay, fine. It took a lot, guys. And then again, kind of thought it was gonna be for a little while, till you found a replacement. And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. Whatever, we'll go through this. And then here we are. What, year 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of.
So here's a hard question. I don't think you get asked much.
Oh God.
How is it being Mr. Knight?
Oh, I will say it helps that no one's actually called me that yet. That does help. That does help. It really does. I think at least people recognize I have my own personality and my own things, and I'm not just I'm here supportively. But I'm not just here supportively.
Right.
It's not the only thing people know about me. It's not the only thing people see. It's not the, you know what I mean? That's not my whole life. And it's also kind of obvious that it's not my whole life. Is just yes, dear. Anything you say, dear. Your next show's at 4, dear. Here's your coffee, dear. Can I hold your bag, dear?
Well, you never asked to hold my bag. I normally turn around and go, here's my purse. I got to go deal with something.
Yeah, and it may hit the ground.
Right. But no, a lot of people don't get that there is a level there.
Oh, yeah, you got a good question here in a minute. Alrighty, but yeah, go ahead.
But no, comparative to what you originally thought, because we are coming up on negotiation day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How is it?
I think being that I didn't end up in the total Mr. Knight or, the Mrs. Knight. Since I didn't end up there, it's been good. I think that's the one thing that would be I'm out. Nope.
Yeah.
I cannot be in that the pastor's wife Because you always hear that one, the pastor's wife. Like, she has no other fucking use on the planet but to be the pastor's wife. Like, she's not ever her own individual identity. She's the pastor's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, poor fucking Becky, the pastor's wife, dumb as a brick, can't do anything on her own.
That's the second wife, normally.
Well, but you get what I'm saying. There's like, I've run into those.
Yeah.
And sometimes it has nothing to do with like that's who she is. That's just who people make her.
Right.
And it's like, oh, please don't do that. Like,
you are technically a pastor's husband.
Yeah, technically. Clergy husband is what I technically would be. Or husband.
Yeah.
However you want to use that one. No, like, and I had that professor in college that she was a Methodist minister's wife.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt you could have actually referred to her and let her hear you say that without getting punched. And she would have done that to you in the middle of church. Because irony of ironies, this dear, sweet, liberal Methodist minister married a master's holding IT professional atheist. Like, night and day, Republican to boot. Night and day are they in terms of personalities. I swear, she was like, I go to church on Sundays, I sit there for an hour, and I'm out the door. She said, that's my total commitment to his career. That's as supportive as I choose to be. And I went, fair enough. She's like, I got a life to live. I've got a business to run. I've got papers to grade. I don't have time for this crap. And I'm like, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I'm good with that. I think that would be the one thing that would make me like, no, I'm off air. I'm out of events. I'm just, no, you're on your own. Like, the point I venture into the only way people see me is as Mrs. Knight, I have a problem. It's like, no. Like, that would be the thing that would get me.
Right, because then I'd have to correct them, because we've already thought this out.
Oh, yeah.
We've had a lovely discussion over it.
Yeah, I don't iron your... Like, there's a whole list of things you got told in the beginning. Like, I ain't ironing your shirts. I don't iron.
I have a mother for that.
Yeah, well, more importantly, though, I don't iron.
Right.
Like, I turned 18, left West Virginia, and threw out my iron and refused to ever use one again that wasn't for my own crafting benefit.
Strangest thing he ever asked me to buy him was an iron. I was like, whoa. What?
Oh, he got so excited because somewhere in your brain you thought, he's going to do my shirts. And I thought I was going to hit him with the iron. I was like, no, that's never going to be the right answer. Ever. Just erase it from your brain. Will never be the right answer to why Joe wants an iron. Like, if you don't erase it, I will beat you out. I will beat it out of you.
Right.
Like, I will keep hitting the spot till I find it. Where you think I'm going to use an iron for you and your shirts for your events will not ever happen.
Nope. That's why we have Mama Night, and I'm already interviewing a laundress that can do a double starch collar and understand that the pleats go down the middle of the leg and should be double starched also.
Meanwhile, I live by two rules. One, it damn better be wash and wear. And if it isn't, it better have a tag that says dry clean only. Otherwise, I will tell you how it's going to work out. Wash and wear, dry clean only, or throw it away because you destroyed it.
Well, that's debatable. All right, I've got a couple questions here, and then we have a question.
Okay, so start with and I'm not sure who Facebook user is on this one. Do we
Doesn't
know?
matter.
All right, so Facebook user 22082. Is there anything I can do to trick myself into eating less and working out more? Or am I never going to have my dream body? My clock is ticking.
One, your clock isn't ticking. However, when you realize what your body is craving and listen to it and eat only that, you'll lose weight.
Okay, and one more question. Sorry, how do you two feel about when people may say you are feminine because of your sexuality and maybe call one of you the husband, the other the wife, etc.? Does that bother you or do you like it? Oh, that's in addition to who is the romantic in the couple, the one buying flowers, etc.? Him.
It's me.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm also the wife. The bank knows that I am the wife. The doctors know that I am the wife that they don't want to talk to.
Please, dear God, we go to restaurants, the server knows you're the wife. I get the bill.
Yes.
Like, he got so excited the other night. We went out to eat and they set the bill in between because the poor server couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
It was the first time the whole time we've been together. Yeah. Oh, hey, Mika.
Hi, Mika.
Like, yeah, I like straight boy it up in public. It's a default. Like, some people have resting bitch face. I have apparently resting, like, I have a wife face. I don't know.
Well, you not only, you are straight acting, I'll give you that. There are times that you relax that. But yeah. No, I'm the one that remembers the anniversaries and puts them on the calendar. I'm the one that is responsible for making sure that the romantic dates are scheduled. He is responsible for dealing with people that I don't want to deal with because I've then cursed them out in 4 different languages.
Usually involving car repair.
Yes.
Or home repair or utilities or... Yeah.
Or pharmacies. Because every one of them, and the bank is the perfect example. We go to the bank. During 2020, our lovely insurance company sent us a check. This is before we had a shared account. Because we hadn't crossed the threshold to having a shared account. Yes, there's a schedule in Aeson 10 on what he will share and when in his relationship.
Same. And it just took us a while to get there, really. Right. Like, that's all it was, is, like, I've always been a proponent of yours, mine, and ours.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, here's my massive advice. Like, Aeson gives couples advice all the fucking time. Joe's going to take one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have never had a job or made a single dime of money in your life. You need an account with a little bit in it. It can be a little savings account. It can have a couple $100. I will tell you, it will change your outlook on your life, your choices, your opportunities, and what the fuck you got to put up with in it. Because I've seen way too many people that only have joint accounts end up, and sometimes it's not even really how they feel. It's just without that option. It's kind of gets stuck in your head. You can't leave them. You can't do this. You have to stay. You have to. And that's not a place anyone should ever live.
Right.
A simple savings account with $200 will massively change your thoughts on your relationship and help you reevaluate what you actually think versus what you've unfortunately trapped yourself into thinking.
Right.
Just say.
Yeah, and I will say this. Yeah, we have a joint account. I'm finally getting him to where he doesn't ask me about spending $5.
Oh, I'm the world's worst on spending. Like, that's the thing. Like, I am so just... I'm not a big spender, and I don't spend much on myself, really. Like, there's business expenses I spend. I get so super excited about like gift cards and like flipping cashback bonus. I will spend the shit out of those.
Right.
But to just walk in the store and be like, I'm going to spend $40, I will tell you now that always ends with,
yeah. And I'm like,
I will talk myself out of it real fucking quick.
Yeah, I stopped giving him room to do that. Anyhow, but no, he's finally starting to actually act like his joint account, and we have joint conversations on money, which is a new thing for me. I don't normally discuss finances with my partner because most of my partners couldn't add $5 and $10 together and come up with 15. So it's been really nice to be swapping that over. But no, I am the little wife. I am the one that worries about dinner and having it on the table and what time's he got to get up, and do I need to pack him a lunch, or am I shipping him out like most wives do nowadays? But left to my own devices, with the schedule I can enjoy, I would be happy as a 1950s housewife.
Yeah, I think you would.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've had one, and let me tell y'all, talking about like this situation, we actually this got brought up totally on another level here recently. But I had an ex who flat out said, if you'll drop out of college and become the stay-at-home in our relationship, you cook my meals, you get me off to work, and please finish that whole phrase, to work. And you handle the household and do the laundry and all this. I will buy you a Mercedes. It will be in the driveway, and we'll live happily ever after. I looked that dude straight in the eye and said, ain't never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I will ever consider that is if I finish college and get the degree, because I've already seen that relationship play out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched that with my mother, because talk about a situation where someone did not have their own finances, did not have their own credit score, did not have their own work history, and repeatedly had to have felt, and I do know that she did, I cannot leave him. That was my mother's situation. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to support myself? How am I supposed to support children? How am I supposed to do any of that? I took that lesson in, and I took it hard. And so when dude said that to me, I'm like, you can put any damn thing you want in the driveway for whoever the hell you think's going to do that, because it won't be me. Like, now let me get that degree and I might consider it. But I want the degree because if I want to leave, I want to have something that is a marketable skill set, that it may not, keep me in the lap of luxury, especially not starting 5, 10, 20 years late in an entry level position. But it's something.
Right. And see, but no, I get took for the wife all the time. Especially at the bank. You can go ahead and tell them what the bank said when you asked about the check that was in both our names.
Oh, well, but then there's a little more to that story.
Go for it.
So going ahead, Aeson Knight is not your legal name.
Right.
Just as a side note.
Yes, it's not my government name.
It is not the governmental name. It is not the name on the driver's license, the bank account, or anything else. That first name is typically seen as female to begin with. Not a lot of men have it. So fundamentally, we run into this all the time. People look at the name and her, she, your wife, your girlfriend, your, whatever, They just automatically make assumptions on gender and throw it together, and Bob's your uncle, here we are. And so I took this check to the bank. It's made out to both of us, and I'm like, hey, what do we need to do? We don't have a joint account. Well, you just get your wife to sign it. And then she corrected herself, or your girlfriend, whatever she is to you. And I'm like, I am trying to fix this 60-some-year-old woman today. Just get me through this conversation. You have her sign it, and you can put it into either account. Okay, thank you, Gladys, for your wonderful take on, not being able to read the account's information in front of you, or, But yeah, it happens repeatedly.
Yeah, I think the funniest one is when I sent you to Walmart.
Oh, good God. That one, no one, the assumptive is what kicked my ass on that one. He sends me to Walmart for red mulch. I go to Walmart, I put the red mulch on, and I said, I hope this is enough. I don't know. I got sent for mulch. I hope this is enough. You should probably call your wife and make sure this is the right color of red mulch. We have 2. I know which color of red mulch my wife wants. Are you sure? I really think you should go. This woman was threatening to not let me purchase mulch. I am standing there as a 30-some-year-old man with this poor clerk, and I understand. I really do. I'm sure there are plenty of people who screw this up, but I'm standing there going, no, I'm real sure I know which one to buy. I am sitting there holding a nuclear football.
Mm-hmm.
Of you're going to create your own divorce if you don't listen to me, man. You need to call your wife and make sure you got the right color. She was adamant. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I am buying the right color. I know I'm buying the right color. Just ring up the sale and let me get out of here.
I just hope I'm getting enough.
I hope I'm getting enough, because I do not want to have to make a 3rd trip.
Uh-huh. And that's why in one of, I believe it's our intro or outro, you see a picture of him with mulch behind him.
That's soil. That is soil. That is for we put in the garden in the back, and we loaded the car down with soil.
I'm featuring this one.
Brenda, you're not wrong.
I have a reputation there too. Because this wasn't too long before. No, this was after I cursed out the pharmacy attendant for not filling your medicine.
Oh, but no, it was a moment in my life. I have encountered some situations, and one of them was actually with a friend of mine who did not tell me what she was doing before we did it.
Uh-huh.
She did not explain this to me.
And for people that listen.
Okay. She's heard about your wife and didn't want to send you home with the wrong one. She was afraid Aeson would come complain. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Sherry, if you're watching or listening, I'm going to out you for this one, girl. So my dear sweet friend moved to South Carolina and did not inform me of some things before my visit, other than we were going to go to Walmart and buy a television. Okay, we're going to Walmart to buy a television. This does nothing for me, tells me nothing. We get inside of Walmart. She promptly says, I have to go to the bathroom. You take care of it. This is the one I want. So I go over to electronics and I find the television that she wants. And I am thinking, damn, it is taking her a long time in the bathroom. But okay, whatevs. And I finally have gotten a clerk, and I'm asking for this one. And I, not knowing what's going on, said apparently the dumbest thing I could have said, which was, well, my friend told me to go ahead and get you to pull this one. She will be paying for it when she gets back up here. And that's when I got asked the craziest question I've ever been asked. My brain had no clue how to process. Is that the one her husband wants her to get? And I went, what? And because one, you would just have to know, like, one, she is married. There is a husband. No, he's not allowed to choose a television. Thank you very much, because no. This will end badly for their financial situation. I will guarantee it. She has researched. She knows what she wants. Yes, this is the one she wants. Well, let me talk to her when she gets here. So she comes up thinking this is going to be a done deal. She is going to walk up, stick her card in the machine, and we're out the door because the man has handled it. I still am not getting it. She walks up, and the most insane conversation proceeds to occur about, now, have you discussed this with your husband? Should we call him? Do you have his permission to buy this television? Because this isn't really a television you want to buy. I think I should talk to him to explain what all is wrong with this television. She proceeds to get mad at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. You are not allowed to get mad at me. You did not explain this to me. One. Two, I have sisters that would already punch this guy. Like, you don't get to use me as a shield. Joe's not a shield. Joe doesn't know how to do this. My sisters beat people up. They can fend for themselves. I've never been used like this. No one uses me like this. Like, the closest we ever got to that was my grandmother buying a car, thinking the 9-year-old was going to protect her while she carried around thousands of dollars in her purse. No! You have to explain these things. It was the wildest situation in my life. She had to still explain it to me when we got to the car, because all I could get out was, what the hell was that? And she said, that's why I brought you with me. And I was like, you have to tell me. I will do this. I just need a play-by-play here of what's going down. That we're in the South, apparently, and women are stupid, apparently, in the South. This is the theory. And cannot buy things without a man telling them they can buy them and what to buy and how to spend his money. She was spending, by the way, her money. But...
Well, again, yeah, but then, you took mom to go get a TV. He didn't get out of the car. This should have been an easy 20-minute purchase.
Yeah, I was sitting there for, I don't know, an hour and something. And I'm seriously getting concerned. Like, did she... Because this was winter.
Mm-hmm.
This was winter. And I'm sitting here going, did she slip? Did she fall? Was there an accident? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. This is confusing. Like, she's running in. She knows exactly what she needs. And the only thing I can think of is she just decided to go ahead and get her entire grocery list.
Mm-hmm.
And just did not mention this to me. His mother came out of that store like she was in a football Super Bowl game. In the last 5 seconds of this game, trying her very level best to score the winning touchdown. And I'm like, how did we get here? And like, she just like chunks a TV in my car and is like, drive. My first thought is, did she just steal a television? Am I an accessory after the fact? Like, am I going to jail? All to get that someone tried to pull this on her. In little old, Beckley, West Virginia, they tried on her. Did she know what she was buying? Did she have her husband's permission? Did she? And no, they started that crap with your mother, and it went south on them real bad.
Yes, because I'm sure as soon as they said, do you have her husband's permission? She'd say, he's dead. I'm not calling my son to ask him what it's about. And if I need a new TV.
Apparently, she also demanded a manager and would only deal with her when the manager got over there.
Yeah.
And bless them out for how dare you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. Like, she's good. I do not have to worry about your mom.
No, Brenda says that's where Aeson gets it from. No, honey. No. I get that from my grandmothers. My grandmother didn't know how to buy a car, didn't know how to drive a car.
And
she bought a Cadillac, cash, from a salesman and talked him into delivering it during the 1950s as a present. So dumb dude sells this woman a car in cash, drives it home, and stops off at the flower shop to get a bow for it. To be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother proceeded to spend the next 2 weeks figuring out how many phone books and other books and jeans she needed for the seat.
Mm-hmm.
So she could see over the wheel. Not to mention figure out how to drive this thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, meanwhile, my grandmother in her entire marriage asked for two things. Asked. These are key words. Asked. Mm-hmm. Everything else she pretty much handled. Asked for two things during her marriage. The first one, I believe, was somewhere in the 1930s, soon after she got married. She wanted a car and to know how to drive it and to have a license. Like that, all one grouping. That she asked for that. And then I believe somewhere in the 1950s, she asked for a gun and to be taught how to shoot it.
And you still have your to-do list.
Only thing she's ever, I think literally the only things my grandmother ever asked for in their entire marriage. Mm-hmm. Everything else she either did for herself or I think my grandfather got the hit real hard. Of like, you better do this or she's going to kill you. Those are the only two things that she ever admitted to ever asking for in her marriage.
Mm-hmm. And those were the two things that I laid on the negotiation table first thing.
Well, not really. You don't need permission. Like, you have a driver's license. You don't need permission to go buy a car exactly. We just have to figure out the financing. But moreover, like, you can go get a gun anytime you want, and I'm hopeful you either know how to shoot it or will take classes.
I know how to shoot it, but that's the two things I told you in this relationship was non-negotiable.
Guns and cars.
You're to keep a car that I can drive when I want to, and my gun needs upgraded.
Well, there you go. We're working on number 2.
Uh-huh.
One day, eventually, we'll get there.
Yeah. It's really hard to find a gun I like, so, he's got work to do.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Uh-huh.
But no, as for me, I'm more likely to not ask for stuff.
I know. I just buy it for you.
Yeah, basically.
I've learned
And
to
then
be a
deal with
good
the fact I'm like, I didn't like that. I don't want that. And it's like, well, if you'd buy your own damn clothes. I know, but they're so expensive, and we could have used the money to do this. Yeah, that's what I turn into.
Yeah.
Like, I will sit here and wear a pair of shoes for like a decade, then buy a new pair of shoes, generally speaking. Like, that's where I live at, is like, it's a weird place.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's spring, time for new shoes. It's winter, time for new shoes.
So effectively in our relationship, he puts up with me going, why did you buy those? I don't like those. Like the driving shoes. Well, that one's technically, I really can't wear them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I wear them, I'm going to break my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the shoes that, like, the body of the shoe, the actual, like, insole extends over the outer sole.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will literally break my ankle.
Yes,
Because
but he
my
has
foot
another pair
rolls.
just like them. So if you ever wonder why Joe looks so similar, or why Joe has, certain shoes and everything else, it's because I've bought them for him. Like, I bought
Yeah.
him his first pair of what are those tan flap shoes? They're over there on the shelf. I have to almost force you to wear them.
I don't know.
The brown ones, buckles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The dress
Yeah.
shoes. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and he has to put up with me going, no, I need $250.
Why?
It's spring.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's
But
wrap
yeah.
this up. It's been a great show. We've had fun. Hope you guys have.
Yeah. Well, hell, any more last minute questions? We'll take one. Whoever gets it in first.
Yep.
On us, not like questions for him to answer psychic reading. But I'll let
Yeah.
you guys throw in one more. If you got one more.
Right. And
We'll answer one more us question, whoever puts it up first.
right. And I'll go ahead and put this out. We will have an anniversary show the 21st. Rainey will be back as our guest.
Aww.
Yeah, we're working on getting her back as a guest for the show and figure out what she's been up to.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
The insisting event?
Yeah.
I need more.
Yeah, we need more, honey.
But okay. So yeah, you've got Rainey coming back on for the anniversary show. Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Alrighty. And then Tuesday you'll be talking about the Psychic Awards.
Yes, we'll be talking about the Psychic Awards. We're also on Tuesday going to be talking about what are you doing in the afterlife?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that last Friday. He wasn't sure if he had a guest. He had a guest, so we moved it to this Tuesday.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about the Tarot Awards. I'm going to go over again the winners and how they were decided and how this has turned into a much bigger impact than I thought it would be. But it just shows how much we need recognition in the industry.
Ooh, I'll let you take that one.
All right. So the invisible, you have to understand. Our relationship reflects a V. Well, at present, it's a V. It's Joe and me, and it's me and the invisible assistant. Now, in the invisible assistant's case, I tend to be the husband. He's the lovely housewife. He just doesn't cook. So, yeah. So the invisible assistant is a completely different leg than the me and Joe relationship.
There we go. All
right.
Yeah.
All righty.
But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Dottie's comment. The insisting event. Interesting? Oh, interesting being the response from Mika, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So, okay. So, no, I'm still lost on Dottie's.
Yeah.
The insisting event. Oh, yeah, never a dull moment. I'm just not dull. I'm incapable of dull. I've tried it once. It was weird.
Mm-hmm. I will throw up and put it into our rotation, and we'll do a show about the patterns of relationships in poly.
There you go.
That's becoming more of an interesting topic too. Dottie, just give us a description of what you're talking about.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those, once she spells it out, it's just all kind of like, oh, yeah, that. I don't know. We may have a fun.
We always have fun with Dottie. Me and Dottie is going to be working on some pet projects over the winter.
Yes. Do we want to give a preview of those, or are those just surprises to be unwrapped
Those
later?
Still surprises to be unwrapped later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So we were talking at the very, 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 very beginning about the local horror psychic.
Mm-hmm. The local scammer. We'll call it as it is, the local scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. But also, while we're kind of wrapping things up, I want to give a shout out to Eric Williams. He has stepped out and started his own massage business. He has been part of my core self-care routine for a while now. And I really, you guys, if you're in the area looking for a good massage, go check out Massage and Tarot over at Massage Books. The link is on my personal profile, and I'll probably share it out on the professional ones later tonight. He's really good at what he does, and he's very reasonable. And as always, self-care is important. Keeps me moving, so I'm happy with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Eric's wonderful.
He is. Yep.
And we're kind of glad. Well, no, we're not just kind of glad. We're really excited he's branching out.
We do.
And, so, yeah, definitely want to have that be a successful, wonderful thing for him.
Yep.
If you're watching,
yes,
we're rooting for you, man.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Dottie, I'm not getting what you're talking about, but we will make sure if it's something, we'll be talking about it definitely. Oh, and we'll be pulling up things with it because, we like hanging with you too. All right. Vanna, hit it.
All righty. So, now see, you caught me mid-cycle. Now, come on. We really do love our baristas, and we certainly want to show our appreciation for our Patreon sponsors. And, of course, because he started me in the middle, I got to wait till it rolls back around again. Because I never, ever, ever want to leave any of you guys out. So we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Guest, Shannon C, Shannon D, the ever wonderful Lady Gwendolyn, and Charles Shaw. Thank you so much for being Patreon sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor, please visit pcsbnetwork.com.
Yep. So good night, guys. See you next Tuesday night at 9:30-ish. We're not always human. Hope you guys like the new format. Let us know, baristas, if you like this, where you can actually tell when we're switching topics. Until then, good night, y'all.
Good night.
This is the calm before the storm. You know what's coming, so be warned. You can't stop me now.